Welcome back. Let's get a check now on the media sector's performance on the share market this week. We're joined by Evan Lucas from IG. Evan, great to have your company on the show. Just talk us through TPG taking on Foxtel. Can you take us through it?
Yeah, look, obviously we're now starting to hear that TPG, probably the last of the big three, and I'm also alluding to Telstra and also Optus there, to actually talk about getting on-demand internet-providing TV services. So they are doing, and they've already got a lot of content from Foxtel to actually move that on-demand sort of programming forward in terms of FY15 and 16. It is a very good strategic movement. They are under pressure from the NBN and what that will mean to their portfolio going forward. So that is a step in the right direction for TPG, and I think it's greeted very, very positively. Interesting about what's going on in that whole overriding market is how much money is being invested into it. We know that obviously Nine and Fairfax have got a tie-up with their kind of their idea there. They want that on their patch service. You've got Seven West Media that are also doing it with Presto. As I said, you've got T-Box from Telstra. You've also got iiNet and Optus going around something like Fetch TV. So it is going to be very much a future growth area. It's certainly a place that telecommunications and the media stocks are joining together, and one that will be very exciting going forward. So it is a good step forward for TPG. Watching it very closely. It should be accretive in FY15 and 16 if they can get it up and running as fast as they say. All right, Evan, we'll leave it there, but thanks for joining us. Thanks, Ingrid. Evan Lucas there from IG Markets. Let's get more on that now with James Manning, our co-host, editor and publisher of Mediaweek. James, what do you make of this TPG buying content for the 2015 Triple Play launch?
Yeah, well, look, it makes sense because they're already in the telephony space. They've got a pretty good broadband service that people like, and they use a key word that attracts a lot of customers: unlimited. So you can just keep downloading. There's
the buzzword.
They haven't come out and said what the content is yet, but you can bet it's going to be some of the content that you see at people like Fetch. And it's all some of the channels you see on Foxtel. So there'll be some, maybe a bit of news stuff, some documentaries, some movie stuff like that. But they also did mention some sports and stuff like that. So I don't know exactly where they'll get that from, but it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. But it makes sense. Yeah, OK. Now, Zenith Optimedia released its latest ad forecast. What's this saying about the outlook for Australia? Well, for Australia, they were forecasting plus 2% this year, but that's been revised downward to plus 0.4. So that's a pretty big drop, and it won't take much, to tweak that back to a zero if you think if things don't pick up as they thought in this last quarter. For the globally, they forecast plus 5.3, so we're sort of well under that world benchmark. Looking a bit further ahead, it's slightly brighter. 2015 for Australia, they're saying plus 1.9, 2016 plus 2.6. So a couple of years of slight improvement there. By the end of 2016, all sectors are going to be up, except print, of course, and we document their troubles very well. But I had a look at those figures today. Those print numbers by the end of 2016 will be a third of what they were at their peak, which was about 2007. OK, probably not too surprising there, though. Now, Malcolm Turnbull's also discussed reasons why community television is being moved to the internet. How much did this have to do with ratings? Yeah, pretty much all, I think he said. Look, they looked at actually the number of people who are watching these channels, and they're pretty small. He quoted a figure of something like 6,000. I think that might have been, generous for some of the stuff. It's sort of well tucked away. It's a very niche offering. It's pretty controversial, but I think the internet's a good place for it, I mean, you're going to have access to much more people, I think. Yeah, exactly. If you can get a little marketing story happening, there's really some chances there to get some decent eyeballs. Yeah, for sure. Now, the Australian Women's Weekly has released its list of Australia's most powerful women. You've got the magazine in your hand there. Yep. How many of these were from the media space? Look, there was about close to 10, if you like. They were mainly content providers. Like the boss of Google was there, OK, but then you've got people like Lee Sales, Tracy Grimshaw, both sort of current affair hosts. Fran Kelly was there, Miranda Devine, Kate McClimate and Caroline Wilson. They actually shared one of the numbers. I'm not sure why they weren't worth their own entries, but that was good choices. Annabelle Crabb, Kylie and Danny Minogue, they both made the list, didn't they? Sarah Ferguson from the ABC. Yep. Yeah, so it was sort of interesting choices.
Yeah, OK, you've told us who's on the list. Any controversial overlookings
Well,
there?
the good thing about this is that it always starts an office debate, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, who was there, who wasn't. So, look, some of the people they did overlook, I think, and I'm not sure how they actually define power, but obviously women reaching big audiences, Jackie O and Amanda Keller,
Yeah.
two, you know, massive breakfast radio hosts. A corporate person that was sort of overlooked, Kathy O'Connor, who runs Nova Entertainment, you know, sort of probably the most high-profile female media executive in Australia. And you can pull up, and Helen McCabe, you know, she was modest enough not to put herself on her own list, but she's probably worthy there. Mia Freedman, someone else who could have come up.
Yeah.
Shayna Blaze, who's sort of plays a significant role in the most watched show on subscription TV, Selling Houses Australia, and
the
most
Block.
watched show on free to air. So, you know, lots of people like that around who could have had a good argument to appear.
Yeah, sure, a lot of office conversations went on about that. Now, APN New Zealand, TRN and Grab One have rebranded New Zealand Media and Entertainment. Talk us through this one.
Yeah, so they've got the New Zealand Herald over there. They've got TRN, which is a radio group, a big radio player in the space, and that Grab One, which is an interesting sort of online e-commerce offering, if you like. And that's there's lots of talk they might look at floating in the New Zealand market, and this is the perfect thing to do it. It really separates the business, you know, out from the APN offering, and just makes it really obvious what they've got over there.
A couple of legal issues. FT reporting that news sites have dropped legal action, of course, Mail Online and News Corp. Talk us through this one.
Yeah, look, there was an argument. News Corp, particularly, I think something like the dailytelegraph.com.au was saying, look, we put a story up, and before you know it, there it is. Something very similar up on the Mail Online. The Mail Online said, yeah, look, what we're doing is not, you know, we'll look at you, you jump on a story, we'll think, OK, we should cover it too. And they were saying, yeah, but you're using too much of our IP, perhaps. There's been some sort of a negotiation in London, I think, and the Mail Online's come out and said, yeah, look, we've reached agreements. It's not going to happen anymore. Both parties thought they sort of won. The Mail Online says, yeah, we were right. And News says, yeah, but the Mail Online's agreed to change the way they operate.
As long as it's settled. OK, and Fairfax Media's Good Weekend. Now, it's celebrating its 30th anniversary. Is this a special edition that we're seeing there?
It is, yeah, but I can remember.
As well.
Yeah, I can remember their 25th anniversary edition. It was a big, chunky book. This one's not quite so big. It's a special edition. It's about 76 pages. The first sort of, they're saying they were the first sort of newspaper inserted magazine 30 years ago, and it started a bit of a trend. Every newspaper then started spinning off magazines with special interest things, more general titles like this, the Weekend Australian magazine. So, yeah, it's been a big revenue generator over the years, both The Age and the Sydney Morning Herald. But, you know, the ad numbers aren't what they used to be, but it's worth catching it on the weekend, see what they're up to.
The special edition. All right. Well, we do have to take a quick break here on Media Week. Coming up next, though, we'll check on the latest TV ratings, plus who won those ratings between ex-Prime Ministers. We'll tell you next.